7 hacks for online teaching. Hack number 6, engage your audience. This is about education. Have you ever watched a great TED Talk? Have you ever listened to someone deliver a speech and you have been aware how fully engaged you were? Have you ever attended an event or been to perhaps even a professional development day where you felt like you had so much learning, you were so engaged with what the presenter was saying, that you took something away that was going to serve you and help you in days to come? Isn't that the goal for all of us when we teach a lesson? Whether we're teaching history, economics, whether we're a primary school teacher, whether we're an elementary school teacher, wherever we find ourselves in the education space, isn't that our goal? That our students feel like they've learned something, that they've felt engaged with us as a teacher? This is what education is all about. In fact, the word educate, I love words. I'm constantly going to etymology online. I am a word crazy person. And etymology online, I don't have shares in them. Maybe I should, because I go there at least once a day. I'm often like, wow, where did that word come from? So while I'm on this tangent, to educate literally means to lead and to bring out. It comes from 2 words that combine together to get the word educate. It means to lead and to bring out. What a privilege we have as educators. Whether we teach young children, older children, young adults, we're all still young adults, right? Yes. Well, whatever age or stage we teach, we have the privilege of shaping and influencing another person's life. And this is why I do what I do. This is why I love to hopefully positively influence every student that I teach. This is what education is all about. It's about bringing out the best in our students. It's about leading, to bring out, to lead. This is what education is. It's about doing all of those things as a great educator. In the online environment, engagement with your audience is still really, really important. And many would assume that it's harder to engage an online audience. I don't think it's harder. I think it's different. I think there are strategies that work in the classroom that may not work in the online space. Okay, just you could pick a whole bunch of them, right? Of examples of things that we could do in a real physical classroom, they're not going to work in an online classroom. Right? So there are differences. It's not necessarily harder. I think it's just different. We have to learn and perhaps relearn ways to engage our audience, that would be our students, in this online space. And you can be as creative as you like. In one of my other lessons, I'm talking about how to be creative when preparing online lessons. This is really important. What are all the creative ways that we can engage our students? And many of these will go back to hack number 2, to be true to you. One of the best ways you can engage your online audience, your online students, is by just being you. By sharing a little bit about who you are. And even in the content of your lesson, this is not about turning off who you are. This is not about downplaying your personality. Actually, it's all about amplifying it. Engaging with your students, one of the quickest ways you can do that is to be true to you. Engage your audience. This is actually what education is all about. Our job is to bring out the best in our students. Our job is to lead them. Our job is to awaken joy within them. Nelson Mandela himself said that education is the most powerful weapon we have to change the world. And I 100% agree with that. We are in the privileged role, responsibility, job, career, calling, whatever you want to put name to. We are in this most incredible profession where every single day we lock eyes with, through our camera in this online space, with our students, and we have the privilege to influence and shape their life through the content that we teach and through the content of our character. This is what we do. We are educators. And to be a great online teacher, we have to engage our audience. We do that through our hand gestures, through our facial expressions, through eye contact. In my camera confidence course, we talk in depth about all of these things. What gestures are good? What gestures should be avoided? Should you sit? Should you stand? Should you move? What kinds of things should and shouldn't you do via the camera in an online space? Whatever we choose to do in that space, we've got this one goal, and that is to engage our audience. This is about education. This is about bringing out the best in them. This is about finding ways to connect with them. And some important questions you can ask when you're talking about online engagement are some really practical ones. What are the ages of my students? You see, what you're going to do to engage a 5-year-old is probably not what you're going to do to engage a 15-year-old. What are the stages of my students? I don't mean stage in terms of schooling. I mean stage in terms of life. Where are they at? What's going on in your country right now? What's happening around the local area of your school right now? If you're a school that's engaged in online learning, then what's happening in the school community? What's going on in their world right now? What stage are they at? And in terms of their development, what stage are they at in their development of themselves? And what stage are they at in the development of this subject area? Is this a brand new subject? Is this something they've been doing for a while? Is this something that they don't know anything about? Is this something some of them are interested or not interested in? These are all questions. Why are we asking them? Because we're finding out ways to engage our audience. And the best way to do that is to know your audience and to think about them and to think about what's behind them, what's making them tick, what's going on in their world right now. Other important questions to ask about engagement are cultural questions. What's going on culturally? What is the cultural background of your students? If you're in Australia, we are a multicultural nation. We have many cultures in every class and no one thinks twice. In fact, kids don't even notice it anymore. They really don't. And that's an important part of who we are as Australians, because we embrace and value and encourage all cultural backgrounds. And it's wonderful. I love that my kids get to be part of that, where all cultures are valued and highly esteemed. What is it like where you teach? What is it like for the students in the neighborhood of your school? What is it like for the students in your online class? What's their cultural background? Because remember, who they bring to your lesson is just as important as who you bring, that being yourself, to the lesson. It's both and. Engaging your audience, asking these questions will help you to answer practical ways that you can make engagement relevant to your context, to your subject that you're teaching, to your students that you're teaching. Hack number 6, engage your audience. And this is all about that beautiful word, that word that we are all engaged with as online educators, and that is that beautiful word, education. To bring, to lead, to bring out. That is what we get to do every single time we teach online.